So we are now in the um, second mood of delivery, which is the non-formal education. So it says the state likewise recognizes its responsibility to provide non-formal education within the context of a formal system for certain social sectors, such as out-of-school youths and adults, the illiterate and handicapped individuals. In Article 14, Section 2 of the 1987 Constitution declares that the state shall, in number 4, encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system, as well as the self-learning, independent, and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to community needs. And number 5, provide adult citizens, the disabled, and out-of-school youth with training in civics, vocational, and efficiency and other skills. Means that um, the nature of non-formal technical vocational training system. So, sa katong gibasa pag first, the Constitution mandates that the state shall encourage non-formal, informal, and indigenous learning system, as well as a self-learning, independent, and out-of-school study programs, particularly those that respond to needs and community needs and provide adult citizens and disabled and the out of school youth with training in civics, vocational efficiency, and other skills. Non-formal education provide non-traditional education alternatives to formal schooling. So kung this is the opposite of formal schooling, with focus on functional literacy, numeracy, and citizenship, as well as skills requirements for the economy. It is expected to play a vital role in the development of productive manpower among the out of school children, youth, and adults. So this is more on how students nga mga wala na nag-eskwela um, na mahimo gihapon silang a good citizens sa usa ka community. They can still work legally. So sa formal, we have a standardized nga from elementary to secondary to college, so they can na sila yung mga process, but this one is for them to have a living. Okay, they can serve the community even though kanang wala na sila nag-school in a formal way, but nag-base sa ilang needs. Okay, kung salay kaya nila. So this is the principal purpose for the passage of Republic Act number 7686, otherwise known as the Dual Training System Act of 1994. The dual training system shall be adopted in duly accredited vocational and technical schools in cooperation with accredited agricultural, industrial, and business establishments as one of the preferred means of creating a dependable power of well-trained operators, craftsmen, and technicians of the economy. So, more ani is kanang mga operators, craftsmen, and technicians. So, kani sila is more ang mga trabahante jud skills jud ni ila. So, the Bureau of Non-Formal Education was renamed the Bureau of Alternative Learning System, or ALS, by virtue of Executive Order number 356, 356, 2004, signed by the then President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. So, mao na ang mga ALS. So, kung mga wala katiwas, they can study ALS. Alternative Learning System is a ladderized, modular, non-formal education program in the Philippines from dropouts in elementary and secondary schools, out-of-school youths, non-readers, working Filipinos, and even senior citizens. It is part of the education system of the Philippines and an an alternative to the regular classroom studies where Filipino students are required to attend daily. The alternative system only requires students to choose schedules according to their choice and availability. So again, makita na to ang ALS is more on kanang magkuan kung kano sila available, and this is not daily jud, and mostly nila pwede mag-modular. They can have a module then wadto sila para mo pass nga na or mo take og exam. So based ra sad kung kadto sila um na ay time ani. The program has two different schematics for conducting instruction. This is school-based and community-based. On the school-based program, instructions are conducted in school campuses, while the community-based program, formal instructions are conducted in the community halls or in private places. So kandidaw na program, it has na siya different nga paagi. Pwede nila sa school nga school base nga pwede dito ihatag ang instructions, pwede dito sila magklase, or pwede sa kanang mga sa community, sa mga sa barangay hall, nga na private places or mga bang silang mga lugar, and then dito nila ikuha ng ilang mga seminar or klase. So alternative delivery modes, ADMs. The ADMs are aimed at resolving the learning needs of marginalized pupils and those learners at risk of dropping out, so they can be helped in overcoming social and economic constraints in their schooling. So ADMs both in elementary and secondary levels. So naa siya sa elementary and also sa secondary. So, sa elementary, nadali ang multi-grade instruction. Sa elementary level, multi-grade instruction is an alternative delivery of formal education whereby there is one teacher for 2, 3, or 4 different grade levels of students in a single class. So, there are kuno 2, 3, or 4 different grade levels. So, sa modified in school approach, Misosa can be considered a liberating approach. Releases children from the confines of the classroom. It allows and actually promote learning while at home or in the community. So, modified in school approach combines formal and non-formal learning activities to meet the needs for classroom, learning materials, and teachers. So, instructional management by parents, the community, and the teachers, or di gitawag siya impact. The extension of educational services beyond formal elementary education is also provided by impact. This was developed by Simeo Inotech to address high student population and high percentage of dropouts. It is a management system where the parents, teachers, and community collaborate to provide children with equality education at less cost. K-12 Toolkit Reference Guide for Educators, School Administration, and Teachers in 2012. Learning materials are based on the national curriculum standards. So again, gikuha nila sa national curriculum standards of the Department of Education. So the programs use audio and videotapes in English, science, mathematics, Filipino, and information and communication technology or ICT in teaching the lesson. So, sagol ni siya sa formal and non-formal para ni sa mga high students population or katong mga percentage sa mga dropouts. But then, ang gigamit nilang materials is based on national standards sa Department of Education, whereas they are using audio or video. So, sa secondary level, we have alternative modes of the secondary level consists of effective and affordable secondary education or EASE. This is one of the um, ADMs, designed and implemented program to complement the existing formal system. So EASE is applicable to students who cannot attend schools for a short while or can only attend classes seasonally due to socioeconomic, geographical, and physical conditions. So the program also aims to cater to advanced students whose learning needs are no longer satisfied by the traditional educational system. So, Open and High School System or OHSP. So, this program is for high school students um, who incur long term absences or who are permanently unable to attend school due to time, distance, and financial constraints, social and family problems, or physical impairments. So, Open and High School System uses the concept of distance education as it offers self regulating and adaptable study programs using self-instructional learning materials. So more on this is a self kanang imong kaugalingon ng imong kuan jud. They're supported by tutors whom they could meet occasionally for advice and tutorial support. The subjects and the grading system for OHSB are the same as those of standard high school. So again, same as sa high school jud, but this one is para sa atong mga naglisod jud. As such as open high school system, students graduate after completing secondary education. So kung makagraduate na sila, same ra gyapon sa katong standard high school. So both um, EASE or katong OHSP are part of the DepEd Bureau of Secondary Education's Dropout Reduction Program that addresses the needs of students at risk of dropping out. Or kung naka-known mo ato, this is gitawag nga SARDOS. So, kung familiar mo na, mag-mention ninyong mga teacher nga kung absent na ka for nilapas na ka 3 absences or nilapas na ka na maabot nag pila na imong late ibutang na ka sa list sa SARDOS. So, kay ko familiarize kung saon nila but na kadungog na kwa na sa mga teachers na mo. So, dropout reduction program or DORP. So, under the DORP, SARDOS are provided 3 modes of learning to enable them to continue schooling even without attending formal classes. So, they are, pwede sila modular, okay? Pwede sila modular or internet. So, internet-based. So, pwede sila mag-online learning. That is still being piloted, and blended technology, which is merger of the modular and internet. So para sa mga students yun sa akong mamanghod, they are modular and magklases sila online, but ang ilang mga ipas kay module. So base modes of teaching and learning, K-12 toolkit reference guide for educators, school administrators, and teachers 2012. Lastly is ALS program. Currently, the DepEd offers ALS programs through the Bureau of Alternative Learning. So, basic literacy program caters to those with little or no education. Accreditation and equivalency or A&E program is offered for literates who have not completed 10 years of basic education. Indigenous People or IP Education is a program that aims to develop an Indigenous people's culture sensitive core curriculum, learning materials, and assessment tools, instrument Okay, mo Japon. So, informal education program provides opportunities for adolescent parents and street children to gain knowledge and skills and to help them improve their character, attitude, and values from daily experiences at home, at work, at play, and from life itself.